Get ready for a grandiose Rob Admiral. I think you have a good idea as to what's about to happen. No? No? Absolutely. I think Rob Admiral's got a shot. World. Think I'm stupid?
You forget sometimes.
I do. Got the match first today. I fucking didn't do it yesterday. All I know is that this, whatever's about to happen, happens. It's going to be a foul with the bob, the bang, a dang, diggy, diggy. Diggy, shit, the fucking shit, fucking stuff. They was there roadblocks 11 days ago. Probably 10 fucking years old.
Thank you. Hey, man, Phil. You know we don't get more subscribers.
Well, you don't pretend to be you know.
No, it's bad. Really? They more of it.
Guys jumping up and down, of course. Good for him. Guys jumping up and down, left side. Of course, Rob Evans. Top guy Rob. Really is, man. I'm excited to see what the hell's about to happen.
Y'all saw it last week. A moment in time that many fans have been awaiting since the last time it happened. To me, I feel as if the stars aligned for a reason. I feel as if the stars have aligned for one reason and one reason only, and that is because it was destined to happen again. You see, I assume for the past couple of weeks y'all have saw me lose hard, walk off, ready to leave until one man decided. One man I haven't seen in years decided to bring me into his office and have a little conversation about the future, a little conversation about what's next. Because to my surprise, he's been keeping an eye on all of his kids ever since the day the syndicate disbanded. And at first I thought, this guy just wants to make a quick buck out of all of us again. He wants to come back here to make sure his legacy is stamped in ABWF, to make sure his legacy is stamped in the 2K19 experience, but to my surprise, he came back just to talk to me and give me a little advice. And I want to thank you for that interference. I want to thank you for giving me the idea of the century. An idea that must happen. A match that must happen. Because what it really was the interference checking on his kids, making sure his kids thrive and end their careers in this experience the right way. Hell, he might want to bring me to WWE. If so, I'm always up for some discussions. But now's not the time for that. I chose to be a UWF wrestler. I chose to remain in ABWF. Baskin Robin decided to be an ABW wrestler, and he decided to reside in ABWF. And since the day that our match occurred years and years ago, Baskin Robin and I never once touched again. It was the match that started everything. You want to hear Jay Bice talk about beginnings and ends? No. Baskin Robin versus Rob Admiral started everything. Every single thing you see today, every moment that you witnessed, every experience, every pay-per-view, every TV special, every Frenzy episode, every Wednesday pain, etc., mayhem, everything you've seen from the day this thing has begun was because of Baskin Robin versus Rob Admiral. Everything happened because of that. You can thank us for that. You see, it was a huge pool of talented men in this roster. A huge pool of men that were in Baskin Robin and myself's way. We were in two different brands, so we thought. And now here we are, years later, both nearly in the same position we once were. And I feel as if there was any time to do it again, it would be right now. So Baskin Robin, if you're back there, I would like you to come out. I would like you to come down to the middle of this ring here in San Antonio, Texas, so that you and I can make history, because let's face it, there is no world championship in the future of Rob Admiral here. And there is no world championship in the future for Baskin Robin. The deal has been sealed. And so, I feel as if there's no other way to go out than the way we went in. So if you're back there, come on out and let's talk.
Alright, history's about to be made. And I'm ready to witness it. This is a first time ever moment. I cannot wait for this.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? It's been a long time since you and I have been in a ring together. It's been a long time since you and I have shared a ring one-on-one. Let me tell you something, man. I got a lot of things to say to you. I got a lot of things I can say to you. First of all, congratulations on a very memorable and successful career. You have placed your stamp in this company. Nobody will forget the name Baskin Robin. Not one man. Yeah, give it to him. And nobody will forget the name Rob Admiral either. because of the history that I have provided for this company. The titles I've won, the hardcore TVs that I invented. We both built this place up. We both made this place the place it is today. We both made ABWF. Whether these people want to admit it or not, the best wrestling show on earth. And I don't think you and I get enough credit for it. I think a lot of the credit will go to Jay Vice. I think a lot of the credit will go to Open Smith, etc., before you and I are even mentioned. You see, but here's the thing. Baskin Robin, our match years and years ago for another world championship, truly, that was the match that started everything. And it was because, up to that point in time, nobody beat you. Nobody was able to beat you. Nobody had a single chance of beating you. But one man, one death man, one under 6 foot ripped Ukrainian was able to defeat the Goliath of professional wrestling. The once undefeated Baskin Robin. And that was me. And every single man that has tried to accomplish the same moment I did, I call them Rob Admiral wannabes. That's not the point. Point is, Baskin, up to that point, you were a megastar. You were the top wrestler in the world. Everybody knew the name. Everybody knew what you did. Everybody knew your accomplishments. Everybody looked up to you. And technically, everyone still does. Literally. But then what happened? What happened to Baskin Robin, huh? Ever since that day, the feeling died. The aura passed on. The torch passed on. Because in one match, I ended your legitimacy. I ended your supreme role in pro wrestling, because the Baskin Robin that everybody once knew became just another wrestler that won some and lost some. And every struggle you've made, every single time you failed at becoming the world champion, every single time you came this close, but yet you were so far, I would take the blame for all of that. Because once you lost, it was over, wasn't it? And I know you know that, and I know that's why you didn't choose to go to ABWF. You went to ABW. That's why in all of our time here in ABWF, I never saw the sight of you. No, I had to catch you walking home, going home on your bus. I had to catch you midway there a few days ago to finally look you in your eyes and tell you that I had something to say to you. And I honestly don't mind it, because I think us crossing paths right now, it is the perfect time to do so. I think the time brewing since the first time we've wrestled to this point in time, right now, was worth the wait. Because I think it's time we do it again. I think it's time that Rob Admiral and Baskin Robin have their sequel at the last show in ABWF history. I say Baskin Robin versus Rob Admiral at the wild card sounds like a pretty damn good deal to me. But it's not about what I say. You see, you haven't said a word. You haven't spoken a word in years. You didn't say a word to me back there. You haven't said a word yet here. I don't think it matters much about what I say right now. I think it matters most about what you have to say. Because what do you have to say? What have I said that isn't factual? What have I said that isn't the truth? I'm all facts, Baskin. And you know for a damn fact that this is destined to be. You know for a damn fact that Rob Admiral and Baskin Robin needs to happen. Because you have nowhere else to go. And neither do I. And I know damn well you can wait to beat my ass for 4 years. But I don't think you think you have what it takes to do it. I think you're scared of going 0-2. I think a one and done is right for you because you can easily dispute that if we ever had another match ever again, you'd win. And I think that's why you've been avoiding this ever since. Call me a desperate man, Baskin. Call me a leech for your fame and success, but nah, man. My legacy will never die. And it's because I beat you. Your legacy will always be remembered as the guy who once was, but could never be again. Courtesy of Rob Admiral, the Death Man. Am I lying? Or am I right? Rob Admiral.
The only fact is that ever since you beat me years ago, the one thing you did more than wrestling was talk your mouth off. You talked your ass off every single chance you could. You've run your mouth for years. But in reality, all those years, you've been saying absolutely nothing. Because you've done nothing. Oh, Rob Admiral just said he was one of the guys that built this place. I don't think you understand much. I don't think you understand what you're saying. You built Hardcore TV? Okay. You were in the Syndicate. That was a fun stint. Were you ever world champion? You never were world champion again ever since you beat me 4 years ago. And for that, I call you a one-hit wonder. Because I still won championships. Even though I had a struggle in this experience, I still won championships. Hell, I held this company hostage. I kept everybody on their feet. I kept everybody waiting. I cemented my legacy my way. You bitched and moaned and you quit wrestling. Because you knew that your one win against me was truly your only moment in pro wrestling. You can dispute hardcore TV. Oh, you were a multi-time champion, that means you lost more times than you won the damn championship. Oh yeah, multi-time tag team champion. Yeah, how many times did you lose for your team? Oh, nice mid-card champion. Oh, all of this, all of that, all to never be the guy. If you want to talk about downfalls and me not being the same guy I once was, you haven't been the same Rob Admiral since the day you beat me. And what you are doing is leeching onto my success. You are leeching onto my name, because through all the loss, through all the hardship, I still remained on top. I never lost my prestige. You are nowhere near my level at this point, and you never will be again. But that doesn't matter. You see, because you're right about one thing, and that's the fact that I've been waiting to slap you around ever since that day. But the question is, talk about lies, who was really avoiding who in this scenario? Who joined ABW before the other one joined BWF? Who made the first decision to be the face of the company? Who nearly won an entire tournament to main event the first major pay-per-view in a stadium while you couldn't even make it to the first Bloody Saturday card? No, your debut was stabbing someone in the back with a sledgehammer because you're a coward. And for 4 years, you got one win on you, and you ran off ever since because you've been a coward ever since. You turned your back on all the people that had your back because you finally got the gold, because you're a coward, because you never were the man you presented yourself as, now were you? And you want to come out here and have the balls to call me all these things, to call me a coward, to say I was running. No, you weren't worth my time. You're an embarrassment. You aren't the same Rob Admiral you once were. And if you want to prove me wrong, I'll give you the chance to try and beat me again. But I really suggested that I really think you should have took your ball and went home that night. I really wish you didn't take interference's advice, and I wish you would have left me be. Because you would have had that one win, and you would have had a moment in your career. But what you're asking for is me taking away that moment, stripping you of that moment, ruining your career at the last possible minute, at the last possible chance you could ever try and revive it. If this is what you really want, Rob Admiral, you're gonna get exactly what you want. But let it be known, you will not be. Because you know as much as I do, the Death Man died that same night that your name lived on forever. And at the wild card, everybody will remember you as the man that fumbled his entire career because he thought he still had it. Careful what you wish for. Let's make history.
Wow, it's happening. It's Baskin Robbins. It's Rob Admiral. It's the wild card.
Harvey almost expected that he was going to go like, hey man, our first match, or, you know, our match where I beat you, first I beat you, built the whole thing, why don't we finish it off right? Instead, he was just like,